So we have come down into the woods of western Pennsylvania to this secret lair, the lair of the humble collector.
Oh, well, thank you. I am the humble collector.
So, essentially, what got you into history? I've always wanted this, to be honest.
So I've actually kind of always been into history, like as long as I can remember. Even like growing up, like my earliest memories are like making my parents like read to me from history books. Like I used to have some of those like big like world history encyclopedia books.
Yeah.
Like love flipping through those. I was into Egypt for a really long time, probably from like as long as I can remember until I was about like 10.
Yeah, so you enjoyed everything, including The Mummy 1999. That was an authentic historical film.
So authentic.
I know, I love that
film.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and from there I got into a little bit of medieval history, not a whole lot, and then colonial era was big for a long time. Still is. I still like the colonial era. And then getting into the World Wars probably in my mid-teens, I want to say.
Okay.
That was a big thing.
Collecting history, was there a certain like event in history that got you like a battle or like a rebellion or something like that?
I think as far as like my early history interest in like Egypt, I think it was the fact that Egypt was just so freaking big for so long. You know, like they built the pyramids, they had one of the, you know, earliest big civilizations. Obviously there were plenty before them and plenty after. But I think it's really just like the stories and how everything hooks together. I think that's the thing I really like the most about history. Just like, especially, that's why I collect like World War I and World War II, because you can't really tell the story of one without touching on the other. Like, they're so interrelated and just everything that goes on there. So I hope that answers your...
My first question is, what is this? I've been looking at this the whole time I'm in here.
This is a dehumidifier.
Oh, okay.
So,
most important in the whole room.
Right. So because I've got all the bayonets and the helmets, I try to keep it not humid in here. So this is nice.
I can see, yeah, I can definitely tell it does get humid in here.
Yeah, this costs like $10, I think. This turns green when it's wet. You just plug it in for an hour, like a day. It all evaporates.
Okay, so I need one of those.
Yeah.
I need two of them because I actually have like a 2-room collection.
Yeah, they're super cheap. I have one in my safe too, just because.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, they're supposed to last like 10 years.
Okay. And I did see you do I've seen you do the shelves before. I saw the video on the shelves.
Yes.
I definitely need to invest in those. See, this is just going to be a video of me saying how I need to invest in everything in here.
Yeah.
That's the videos. This is Redoubt Productions trying to figure out where he should put his money in next.
Yeah, I mean, cheap shells from Lowe's, you can't beat them. I mean, even there's that extra layer I couldn't even put up because of the fan. Now it's this table over here now.
This is a fan.
Yes. Yeah, so this is where, I do schoolwork, hang out in here. I've got my old Philco here.
Yes, did you get any, have you got any progress on it yet?
Oh, what, like, I actually had it restored a while ago.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, so I can actually plug it in here.
Oh, we're going to get it on.
Yeah, I keep it unplugged just because, like, power surges and crap, I don't want the...
Yeah, you know, our power company, West Penn Power, which was bought out by First Energy.
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Oh, I love them. I love the fact that we were out power for 3 times in a 48-hour time period this month.
Yeah.
That was fun. Look at it actually work.
Yes, so I actually bought this for like $40. Got it restored.
Where did it come from? Like,
Ligonier Antique Show. Like, long time ago. Yeah, no, that's like one of the 2 stations I get really cool. This is the antenna.
oh!
It travels like the whole way up the wad there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, technically when I got this, they told me the best thing to do would probably be run like a 15-foot antenna out to the yard. And then they said I'd be able to pick up radio stations from like everywhere.
Well, you can get in here, clearly.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is good enough for what I'm doing. But, yeah, that's always...
What do you say about early scatter thunderstorms?
We're going to lose power again, probably.
Woo! Let's get this done before we lose power, then. No, but seriously, we've been having trouble here in Western Pennsylvania, power. We lost power 3 times in 48 hours in July.
Yeah.
Yeah, not fun. Not fun.
Yeah, up here we get like little power surges. Like power will go out for like 5
Oh,
seconds.
it's bad down in where I live downtown. I don't know, it's because we live in town or something, but we're not far. You know where we live, we're not far from the power, the substation.
Yeah.
So we don't know what's going on.
No, but it'll go out just long enough to screw everything up.
It's how it
just a
always
split second. That's all it takes.
My PS4 is somehow still alive after the summer, and I don't know how.
Nah, I have no clue either.
Yeah, there's some elements in it, some material there. I want to figure out what's in there, and I'm going to sell it. I'm going to make a boatload of dollars off
scientific discoveries.
Oh, it's a scientific discovery. The thing I want to start with is, what is this line? Because that is clearly not, is that a World War II relic up here behind? No, behind.
Oh, yes, the double dragon.
Oh, yes, that's...
Yes, I picked that up out in Wyoming. It was like $20.
That was not the answer I was expecting. Wyoming.
Yeah, no,
Wyoming.
Yeah, we were on a camping trip, and we were.
Oh,
I
tried
to hit antique stores everywhere I go because you never know what you're gonna find.
No, I don't blame you. But...
And yeah, they had a bunch of these like old arcade marquees, and that was like the coolest and best one that they had. And yeah, I do like old video games to an extent. So I for the price.
I thought they were using Double Dragon against the Americans in Okinawa or something.
I'm pretty sure they were. Okay. That Kung Fu, you know.
It's that Kung Fu. Okay, so one thing I wanted, the helmet back there.
Yes, these are actually new. They're going to be in an unboxing video.
Okay, because I think I know where that helmet came from because I've been looking at it for a while. But it's the one I think it is.
Okay, maybe you were. So yeah, I did an unboxing video, which will be up on my channel soon. But yeah, this is a Soviet SSH.
It is what 36. I was looking at.
Oh yes, so you know where this came from then.
I can't remember what site, but I know I was looking at it.
Yes, so yeah, this was actually dug up on the Silo Heights. You can see it's got massive concussion damage to the side here. But so I got this, and then I also got this relic is also from the Silo Heights. I was very excited to get this. This is the lower frame and the grip from a Nagant revolver.
Oh.
Yeah. So this would have been carried. I know they were issued to like commissars, officers. I don't know if tank crews were issued these two or gun crews, but yeah, this was also dug up on the battlefield. Pretty cool. I mean, this is the first relic firearm that I have.
It looks cool to me.
Yeah, they're fascinating. I like battlefield relics just because you can tie them to a specific battlefield. Hold that, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, see, yeah, my hands are gonna rust this so quickly, and it's gonna die because I'm touching it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this! It's like playing Call of Duty.
Yep. Yeah, that's what caused World War II was violent video games.
Oh, and the other thing that mostly my dad's more into than I am is not just this helmet in particular, but anything with that bloody keystone on it.
Yes, the bloody bucket.
And this is World War II, correct?
This is World War II. This is an M1 steel pot helmet. And this one's a fixed bail, which is how you know it's pre-World War II. Because during World War II, they started making the swivel bail.
Yeah.
And that's what they used up through, like, Vietnam. Like, they used that forever. This one has an original... I don't know if you can see it down there. There's actually a little Firestone F at the very bottom.
I don't think it'll pick up the camera, but I can see it.
Yeah. So, not an expert on painted helmets by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know if this keystone is original or not, if it was added by a collector later.
See, that's what I'm worried about, because you know the Bloody Bucket is the 28th Pennsylvania Division's one, at least in this region, the most famous World War II division.
Yeah, and World War I.
Well, yeah.
Very big. So, yeah,
That's why I'm a little bit, it's one of those too good to be true things. It looks authentic.
It looks really good. And it's got like this weird, almost like an outline of a keystone directly above where
Yeah, I saw that in the video.
And I don't know what's up with that either. Yeah, if you can pick that up on camera there. So I nobody who's like really good at these like...
It's like, because this looks like it's meant to fit in there, but like they off paint it. Because I don't know, I'm assuming they would paint. Did they paint these off the assembly line, or they were hand painted back then? Like,
you mean like the decals?
Yeah, the decals.
Generally, like unit insignia would have been done in the field. I don't think it was a regulation thing at all. Because, I mean, like military security and stuff, I wouldn't think you want to paint it like that.
Yes. And then the other item, which is probably the most iconic of yours.
Yes, the one that's my
I can't. It's a
channel icon.
I mean, I can't argue. It's a doughboy, so.
Yeah, it's a World War I, also 28th Division helmet. Yeah, so the unit insignia getting painted on a helmet was much more common during World War I, which I was surprised to find that one, honestly. And World War I helmets are always fascinating because they're much more common to find painted with unit insignia and camo patterns. That's pretty cool. This one, unfortunately, is missing its liner. This is like a super cheapo, like 28th Division helmet.
I mean, I have to envy all your helmets. I mean, I do counteract you with one thing, and we know.
Yes, you have that very nice German helmet.
Well, I wouldn't say it's nice, but it's I've seen other ones on different sites like Gunbroker and stuff. So it made me feel better. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a real one. There are other because we'll talk about that when we get to my house. So the Panzer shield. I'd probably say this is probably one of my favorite items that you have.
This is one of mine too. This Panzer Shrek shield. It's just. It has a really good look to it. And also, like, the fact that it apparently came from around the Stalingrad area. Like I said, during the actual Battle of Stalingrad, I don't believe this pattern of shield was actually in service yet. But I mean, there's still fighting going on in that region afterwards.
And I think you proposed the theory that it might not have been once it may have been used as part of a defense afterwards. It might not have been, once it got blown off.
Right, and the reason I think that is because all the bullet strikes that you can see here, they've all been forced out what should be the front of the shield, which of course begs the question.
They're coming out this way.
Right, which of course begs the question: did people get behind him? Did this, or maybe they had this shield and for whatever reason they ended up taking off and putting it as part of like a fortification, in some rubble.
That's in my opinion. That'd be my theory.
Especially since the glass in here, I believe I pointed that out on the video, is not the original glass. That looks like window glass, and it's got some scorching on the one side. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it's really kind of a mystery. That being said, I did find one photo of a Panzer Shrek that had the shield on backwards for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because...
Maybe it's the same shield.
Maybe it is. I don't know if that's because...
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because maybe...
I've heard stranger.
Yeah, maybe it's because they didn't know the proper way to put it on there, like regulation, especially if it's getting like late war and they're kind of just throwing equipment at people and telling them, hey, stop that tank on the Eastern Front. But just everything about it, especially this right here, this one strap that's been blown off and you can see the bullet strike that really actually like took it out. Like, it really is. It's a remarkable piece. And, yeah, definitely one of the more striking battlefield relics I own. I'm lucky to have a few.
And then we got the banner behind here.
Yes.
You know me and my love of banners, flags, things like that.
Yes, the 37mm roster. So that is a piece of trench art from World War I. And it's fascinating because they essentially took this strip of cotton, or I believe it's cotton, and it looks like what they did is they just took it like a nail or maybe a needle and heated it up over a fire and essentially just burned this into it.
And did this come from the field, or was this done like after war and brought home? What was it?
That I don't know. I got
that. It says 1918. That's why I'm.
Yeah, it might have been done after the war. Maybe it's like a souvenir piece, or maybe when they were in the army.
Regardless, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. And the gun itself is beautiful. 37mm that they managed to do on there. Just it's remarkable the artistic ability that some of these people had. It's truly remarkable, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to trace this unit and find out anything else about it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, because 130. It's either I think it's 138th or the 133rd, probably the 38th. It's kind of hard to tell up there.
I think that.
Yeah, that's probably an 8 just because
decide it for yourself. I don't know. It might be a 3 as well.
But I figure if it was a 3, maybe it would be an RD instead of a TH. But like I don't know.
That makes sense. So, now moving on to what some people would call the more controversial aspect.
Oh yes, the controversial aspect of collecting, of course, being Third Reich items.
Which is what you generally dabble in. So
I do dabble in it a bit. Yeah, I completely understand why it makes people uncomfortable, why they wouldn't want to collect it. And for me, it's history. And realistically, this is the kind of stuff that you want to preserve so it doesn't happen again.
I have no qualms about
it. I know that you don't, but I know that... Yeah. I've been in antique stores before where I'll be, start talking to the person.
But there is some pretty cool items in here regardless. And the grenade that, he has whenever people give you a bad day, you just put that
that paperweight. I have no idea when this grenade's from either. It looks like it might actually be Battlefield Doug, maybe. But
we pulled it and we died. And,
yeah, I don't know if it's a World War I or if it's a World War II.
That was the end of Humble Collector and Redoubt Productions at the same time.
Yep, we just straight up died.
Yes, yes. We got the mirror, we got all knives. Nothing against people with weapons, but I really don't care about weapons on even bayonets. I'm sorry, folks. I'm more in for the personal effects.
Yeah.
And then here we go. We got more stuff. Ooh, we got a... what? Is this what I think it is, or is it something?
This is a, I think it's called a backpack flag, actually. It's a little, very small Rising Sun banner.
I swear you talked about it before, but I can't remember.
Yeah, as you can see here, it's,
yes, that's more me. The Pacific feeder.
Yeah, so this very small, this tear here is just from the silk being fragile from being folded.
Which is why it's going back in the bag right now.
Yeah, the sad thing is...
That's why it's going back in the bag.
There's so many items I wish I could display better.
No, I think a lot of people have that problem.
But it really is just space. Like the uniforms, like I'd love to be able to put those on display. But like, A, I don't have any mannequins. B, I don't have room for mannequins. Eventually, what I'd like to do is get some archive boxes and store them there with like some acid.
Yeah, I'm in the process of acquiring a few. I'm going to wait until winter, however. But that's the problem. I think learning, we both have worked at a museum at some point.
Yes.
And just to give you an idea, I think a lot of people, they don't understand that you can't put everything out on display. It's impossible. I've been to museums where they put everything on display, but generally they're private, they're small, and I don't think they really understand. And I'm not taking away from them because my favorite museums are the small, tiny treasure trove museums.
Yes.
But generally, they're not equipped with the preservation skills that the bigger sites and national parks do. When you go to a museum that's like a big one, like you're only seeing about a tenth of what they really have. You need to understand that. And a lot of the items just cannot be put on display because they're so frail. Some of these items, you just cannot stop them aging, with the exception of putting them in a black box and sealing them up.
Pretty much, yeah. And one of the nice things, though, is that because World War and World War II were fairly modern as far as those go, materials were generally better, and stuff was better taken care of. You know, like this World War I uniform I have here, this 28th Division, it's in remarkable condition. I mean, as you can see here, like it looks like it was made just recently. It has a couple moth holes, but this was actually for a cavalry. I believe that's what the cross swords is there.
Yeah, it's cavalry.
Cavalry, which of course they ended up in the trenches during World War I, just like everybody else.
Also Bloody Bucket.
Yes, also Bloody Bucket. That's kind of like what I try to collect as far as World War I American stuff.
No problem, Matt. Yeah, that's my dad will come in here tonight and take care of everything Bloody Bucket wise. Don't tell him.
Yeah, like beautiful uniform. Love to have it on display, but ultimately, just to preserve it, it's probably gonna end up in a box for most of the rest of its existence. And then back here, of course, I have my cryptographer uniform from World War II.
This is probably one, I know I keep saying about airframe, but this is another one of my favorites you have.
Yes, James E. Blankhorn's uniform.
It's nice that you have the story to, you can connect it with the person.
Yeah, it's nice it came with so many documents associated with it. The sad part is that they end right when the story's kind of getting interesting, with him trying to apply for disability because of an injury he sustained. Non-combat related, but...
Came with the medal.
Yeah, good conduct medal there.
Good conduct, yes.
Probably like the most common World War II.
It's medal regardless.
Because I think literally everybody got one of those. Not to discount it or anything. But
no. We're not trying to. But yeah, it's one of the more common ones.
Library at college was giving away a bunch of crap, and I saw this, and it was so bizarre. I had to grab it.
I thought this is the end.
So I don't know what you know about Gaia theory. So essentially, there's a scientific theory that the Earth is actually a living organism. It's kind of hippy-dippy. It's a little above my head. Anyway, this is original notes from the Gaia conference, I believe.
Oh. Ooh.
From 1985.
He's coming to get the book back, can't you hear?
Yep. Obviously, it's zip-tied. It's literally just like photocopies of the notes, probably made by the... It's okay.
Historian!
It happens. But anyway, it's like the original notes for the conference. The book didn't get hurt, thankfully. Yeah, it's literally just photocopied, like, slides, everything. I think there's some charts in here, too. But, yeah, it's way too above my head science-wise. But it's such a bizarre book, I had to get it, because it was, A, free, and B, it was bizarre.
Gotta get Brian May in on this. Oh, wait, he's astrophysics. What other famous celebrity scientist can I name?
Bill Nye.
Yeah. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And then we got the World War I German photo album.
Yes.
That another item that will be gone after I leave here.
Yeah, this was a good find. I got a pretty good deal on it, thankfully.
Yeah, and photos they go, I've been finding out, the albums, they go for pretty pennies.
They do. This one was, like I said, I got a really good deal on, especially for World War I. And there's so many good photos in here. It really is remarkable. Like, you have plenty of good troops. Actually, I think this is one of the sections I haven't really gone through yet. But you see, that's I believe a German field piece there. You got a couple pictures. That might be an action shot, actually. Looks like maybe. But,
yeah, the barrel's a bit fuzzy, so it might have just got fired.
Yeah, just recoiled. You got a field kitchen there. I mean, a lot of this is just landscape diorama shots. There
Nothing wrong with that.
Got a Maxim. Yeah, photos like these with weapons are always the more valuable ones. And then, yeah, we got marching. German infantry. These guys are playing the band, the marching music.
They're playing the banjo.
Playing the banjo. And then, yeah, you have a lot of these that are more like landscape shots of, like, barns and towns and villages and things.
I like that one.
That's a nice one with that birdhouse there. Just, like,
yeah. It looks like us every time a thunderstorm comes through.
Pretty much, yeah. And then these guys, like, building what looks like maybe a porch on this house. Like, that's pretty cool. And I don't know what's happening here. Maybe a fire or something in the trench. But yeah, so this guy, I believe this was the album, or all these photos came from the same German officer. Somebody's mowing the grass. It's fine.
It's okay.
But
fine.
there's like photos of different German officers in here, landscapes from Russia.
It's really good. Although if it's a Russian one, they might have doctored it. You never know. You know, Soviet Union were really good at doctoring photos, but
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I think these are all. This was a German album though.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, these are definitely German photos. I didn't know that we have a casualty photo here. It looks like I didn't know this one was in here. Does that look like casualties? I think it does.
Either it is. Yeah, that's casualties.
Wow.
Yeah, because you can see the head right there.
Yeah. So
if not, it's a very oddly shaped dirt, and us cannot identify a human body.
Yeah.
Don't come find us for rescue.
But yeah, my original plan with this when I bought it was to actually remove the photos to conserve them a little better.
I think it's better just to keep it in them.
Well, also like they've been like completely glued in here, like they're not coming out.
No.
So
yeah, the only way you're moving them if you like tear up the pages themselves. So
yeah, that casualty photo is pretty rare actually. I didn't know that was in there.
So and it was.
But yeah, it's a really unique album. I need to finish that series eventually, just going through it because I still haven't looked through the whole thing yet.
All right, so you have approval now, folks, to go to Hummel Collector and nag him to do.
Yes, nag me. Keep me on it. And then this is my binder of all the other miscellaneous paper items. Paper documents. I'm just gonna move them.
Beautiful handwriting you got there. Yes, beautiful. Better than mine.
Yeah. So isn't it just lovely handwriting?
Well, yeah. So this is the home of the famous Def cards.
Yes, probably my largest series, and definitely one of my favorites.
Probably what you're known for.
Probably, honestly.
And then we got the mysterious gun.
Oh yes, the Model 45A. All of those photos.
Yeah.
As well, the Marine Corps photo or a Marine Corps postcard there, and yeah, you got a lot of miscellaneous stuff. I love this Balloon Corps card here for World War II. Because Balloon Corps stuff's rare, even World War I.
Oh, yeah. Then we got the wonderful illustration there.
Yes, waiting for further orders, December 1918. We have some German Feldpost here, which I haven't gotten translated. I still need to work on it. It's cursive and it's German.
Oh, boy.
It's a little out of my wheelhouse, but there's just so
That's pretty
much
good. That's pretty good
here.
cursive, though. So
It is. And my German, unfortunately, is not very good. But both of these, I have two pieces here. There's just so much on them. I feel like there's some really good stuff in there.
It's pretty good cursive. I mean, it should be pretty easy to decipher.
I would think so. And we got the Panzer Faust manual there.
At least it's not the remarks.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know how those people in Sharpsburg, because I think that's where they preserved it. They took it down to Sharpsburg, Maryland, and that's where they did all the chemical work on it.
Yep.
Look at all this stuff.
Panzer Faust. Yeah, that one I have no clue if that's real.
Manila. Dear Bill.
Yeah, that's the letter that came with the Model 45A.
Oh, okay. That's
so it's like 7 pages from Manila basically explaining a little bit about the project. But then, yeah, that gun, if it still exists, I would very much like to see it.
I don't think it exists, buddy.
I don't think it exists either. But, of course, before I found these documents, everybody thought the Model 45A that was in those photos was just like a mock-up. As far as I know, this is the first like actual verification we have.
This is...
that it was mechanically functional. Or at least...
There had been a prototype. Well, I mean, there was a photo, so there was a prototype.
Yeah. And, of course, these came from... the proving ground where they tested weapons during World War II. Aberdeen. These came from a grouping of documents from an officer who served at Aberdeen during the war. So, obviously, if the proving grounds has documents for this gun, it must have actually existed.
Just keeps going.
To some degree.
Just keeps going and going and going. And we're going to be here all day.
Yeah, you're nearing the end now, but yeah,
okay.
There's quite a bit in there.
What's with the story on this?
Oh yeah, this is a German, or this is a British, American, I don't really know. It's a propaganda pamphlet that would have been dropped over Germany.
Oh.
Basically, it's like, hey, don't hide the SS, they're war criminals. That's why this guy's circled down here in his in his Allgemein SS uniform, the black one that's in all the movies.
The black one, the movie one.
The movie one.
Yes, we use movies logic in our recording. We use the Patriot to decipher the American Revolution too.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that is like the uniform they're really famous for, but that's not the one they wore in combat, obviously.
No. So we've been moving this gun around. I've been noticing for a while.
This is my Mauser 98K.
Original or replica?
Original. It's been reworked, so
Okay.
that's why it looks as good as it does.
Is it activated or deactivated?
It's active. I've taken out shooting before, but not recently.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, 1937 manufacture, so right before the war. It's still got proof marks on there, as you can see. Mm-hmm. But yeah, all the numbers on the bolt match, and the stock, I think, has been redone to actually match the gun. But then the barrel itself is a newer barrel, and then the barrel bands here are from different Mausers. But yeah, leaf sight out to 2,000 meters. It's an excellent rifle. I do enjoy this one. That's the only actual rifle from World War II that I own.
You know me, I'm not firearm crazy, so
Yeah.
I'm like, gun, cool, okay.
Yeah, Mauser.
But I had to ask because it looked like a Mauser.
Yeah, Mauser, and then I actually have another one in the box here. This one's technically not mine.
It's not his.
This is my grandfather's, but I'm keeping it for him at the moment. Right. This
original or
this is an original. This is a original 1918 1911 pistol, made in 1918 for the government contract. And then after, well, obviously by the time the government got this, World War I was over, right? So this pistol actually ended up in an armory for the interwar years. It was issued to this guy, Paul L. Crumbean, during World War II. He was in the Pacific. And at the end of the war, he took his service pistol and he sent it back to the factory to get it refinished. And then it sat in this box until the guy who bought it from him sold it to us. So me and my father, when we took this out to the range, were actually the first people to fire this gun since at least World War II.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a remarkable pistol. The finish on it was so... Where's the...
And he broke the most valuable piece.
No.
Most of his
But yeah,
firearm.
so the bluing on this was actually so stiff from being in this box so long. When the first time we fired it, the shell casing actually got stuck in the ejector. We actually had to rack it a couple dozen times before it would feed properly. But beautiful pistol. Those little tiny sights on it, because during World War I, this was just supposed to be fired offhand. You're not really supposed to aim it, because it's assumed if you're pulling out your 45 that you're close enough, you're not really going to need a lot of time to aim.
No.
But really cool pistol. I love that gun.
I love the fact that when you get your helmets, you have helmets for all scenarios. You got your regular U.S. World War II helmet. You got your French helmet there.
Yeah, my bullet struck World War I.
World War I. You got your dog cap there to go flying when you go on an aviation mission. And then of course when you want to go to Siberia and hide out from everybody.
Yeah, so this is actually one of the new pieces from that unboxing video.
When the FBI comes knocking on your door and
yeah, this is actually this is a German hat actually.
Oh, German! Oh,
yes, this is a German winter issue hat, fur cap. I believe this one's dated 1943.
Oh.
The reason this one's really cool though is because it came with this, which is the original.
Okay, I was wondering about the document.
That's the original bring back paperwork. So basically, this is somebody signing off on this saying it's okay for this person to bring home one fur cap. In this case, this fur cap. Always, if you can get an item with the bring back paperwork with it, get it, because a lot of times this doesn't survive, and it adds a lot of provenance to a piece.
And it makes life a lot easier.
Makes life a lot easier. Plus, then you know the soldier who brought it back. In this case, it was Private First Class Howard S. Cody. So he's the guy who actually brought this back on 15th January 1945. So getting near the end there. But what's nice about this cap is a lot of the winter caps you see for the Germans will have like metal cap eagles on them. So the reason for that is very interesting. They never came issued with those because this is seasonal equipment.
Yeah.
So at the end of winter, you're supposed to put this back in the stockpile. So you would not take the time and effort to take your cap eagle off and put it on this thing. Reason that you see 9 out of 10 of these with those on it is because antique dealers know that if they put a German eagle on there, it sells for more because Nazi stuff sells. So this is all original. There, as you can see, there's never been a metal eagle on here.
No,
so
I
this is
see.
an original hat, which is really nice. Yeah, and these 2 death cards I haven't translated yet. I leave them out until I translate them. That way I don't forget. We have Joseph Bell and... oh yeah, this is a double. This is...
Oh, that's double.
Franz Hartmann and Johann Hartmann. So generally speaking, whenever you had a second or a third person die in your family during World War II, at least, you'd actually put the first 1 or 2 who died in the same death card with the most recent one. In this case, I believe these 2 are probably brothers, but like I said, I haven't translated it yet.
Yeah, no Tom Hanks coming to save you guys.
Yeah. And what's interesting is he actually, you notice this is from 15th January 1945. Franz here was actually killed 3 days later, on 18th January. And his brother here, this is interesting, actually died post-war, January 30th, 1947. My last death card video, if you remember, was a soldier who died in the hospital.
Yes.
After the war from his wounds. 3 years after, so he was in there for a while.
So, yep. Oh, and gotta have the Omaha beach sand.
Yeah.
You know, at this rate, is any of the sand there older than 5 years?
Probably not. I mean, even even with just like normal like beach action, I don't think any of it's real sand. It's just the fact that it was at the place where the thing happened. Because like I know for a fact that like this isn't the sand that was on the beach, you know, in 44.
Yeah, like everybody has.
Right. It's
except
like
me.
it's like people who would like say, I don't know, like go to Egypt and get like a jar of sand from like the base of the pyramids. Like, hey, this is where the pharaohs walked. No, it's not. Well, A, there's no way to prove that. B, you're probably not even allowed to do that anymore.
Well, don't worry. I have some interesting versions of that, of like jars of stuff from places. You'll see.
Oh, I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I will say this: it's not what you will expect.
Okay.
And only you will appreciate it. Like no, if you. So if anybody's watching the video, if you're not from not even West Pennsylvania, if you're not even from where we are, what I'm talking about, you're not even get into.
This is a screwback. So this would have been a private purchase one.
Okay, I touched it. Yep. I touched it.
This I actually also just got in. That'll be in that. That was a huge unboxing video. It was a couple months worth of stuff. But this is a World War I Sun and Service flag, and this one is for the Tank Corps, which is pretty unique. Obviously, there weren't a lot of soldiers in the Tank Corps during World War I. And the guy I got this from is a seller who I buy from pretty frequently. And he's been dealing for over 30 years now, and he's never seen one like this.
No, I've never. Usually, when you see these, it's just the star, the red, and the white, and that's it. We actually have one that's permanently encased in our window. It's not original. It's just one we put up just because, but it's. So yeah, I've never seen anything else on them.
Yeah, I've seen like 2 other World War I ones that actually had like infantry on them.
Oh, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was like a private, like, extra expense that you could do.
Because I thought they wanted them to be white just in case you had multiple family members in service.
Right. But yeah, super unique. Obviously, that's a British.
And it comes with the original.
British tank there. The original holder. Obviously, the flag is super frayed.
Well, yeah, you're not. That ain't getting hung anymore.
No. I mean, same with this banner. When they yanked it off the wall originally, it shredded where the pole used to be. Yeah, this is just some armbands.
There's the black and white.
Yes, the black armband that's a mystery. Probably some sort of weird fantasy piece, but maybe it is real. If it is, it's a very oddball piece.
Wouldn't it be funny? It comes out and turns out it was like a set. It was used in Indiana Jones or something.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Because I'm just trying to think like what would be, and I'm like Indiana Jones.
Maybe, but yeah, SA armband.
The war marked armband. I've only seen them a couple other times.
Yeah, the Volkssturm armband. Those are. My Volkssturm video is actually pretty popular. I was surprised by that.
Yeah. Well, they're not uncommon, I don't think, but they're still not something everybody goes after. Because when they think the Nazi Germany, they think SS. That's it.
Yeah, the Wehrmacht and
the Wehrmacht. Yeah. Like historians are like F the Wehrmacht. Some of them are like. No, I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean.
People spend way too much time on the SS, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they really weren't even in the official fighting force. They weren't anymore. They what would you say with the SS? They were like specialized.
So they started out being like really specialist troops in the early war, but as the war went on and Germany started running out of guys to throw at people, like originally the SS was supposed to be like strictly like the Aryans, like the best of the best Germany had to offer. As the war went on, they started forming a lot more foreign legions in their conquered territory because they needed as much manpower as they could get. And by the end of the war, I mean, I think it was the 12th SS was basically just Hitler Youth. It was just kids.
Yeah, it got pretty dark. And they were always dark, but they got...
I can't remember where the one SS unit was raised, but I think it was in Croatia. They were the ones who had the Fez. I can't remember the name of the SS regiment. But they essentially, the Germans specifically recruited them to hunt partisans. Because all the partisans were like from local like Christian groups. But like all the SS members in those regiments were Muslim. And like they've been fighting in between each other for like hundreds of years. Yeah.
It gets sketchy.
It gets super sketchy.
That is the room of a humble collector.
Yes, it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour.
Well, don't worry. This is just part 1. Now, I don't know if he's going to film for me on part 2 or if he's going to film for his own channel. I don't know what we're going to do with that. But
I mean, you can post mine on yours.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Because there's going to be a part 2 to this because we're actually now going to travel over the ridge away from the lawnmower, and we're going to go to Mineland, which he is terrified to go to because he knows where I am and he knows he's going to another world.
I mean, I'm excited to see what you have over there because honestly, I've seen like bits and pieces.
I have World War II. I have some Civil War. I have a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So, in my stuff, I would say this: I don't have as much of a collection, but I do. And this isn't up against him. I do have more room than him, so there's going to be some interesting. But you'll see that in the other videos. So I think I'm going to get a couple final shots in here just to post randomly in the video, and then we'll be on our way. So catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all for watching. I very much enjoyed taking a trip to my good friend's house to view his collection. If you'd be interested in having me and a humble collector do more collaborations like this, just let us know in the comments below. There will be some bonus footage that was shot during the room tour dealing more with video games and pop culture items. That'll be linked in one of the corners right now. A humble collector will be posting a part 2 to all of this. He actually afterwards toured my collection, so if you want to see a tour of all my stuff, be sure to view the video that at some point will be posted on his channel. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.